Welcome to the best small business podcast. This is episode 266. We're excited to bring you this week's topic, recruitment, retention, and labor quality. I'm Rich G.
And I'm BJ Flag. Challenges in the labor quality, including employees' retention and recruitment and attention, were cited by 55% of small business owners, making it the largest challenge they have.
Yeah, strong employment can make it hard to recruit and retain. This trend has continued with labor shortages everywhere. The Great Resignation has put an exclamation point on this decade's employment challenges. So let's get started. Our first action is recruitment, finding the best people. For a number of businesses, it's always been hard to find qualified prospects, engineering, HVAC, etc. But for the past few years, it's become even harder. It seems like no one is out there, and it's getting darn near impossible to find qualified people to fill open positions, especially if your business is growing.
First, expect to pay more. You're looking for top quality, in applicants, and prices have gone up over the last few years. It's a seller's market out there. Be prepared.
Yeah, it's been a buyer's market for the last 40 years, 50 years.
Yeah.
And it's changed. And a lot of businesses are like, what's going on? Well, it's a seller's market now. Second, use your staff, your colleagues, vendors, and clients and customers to attract new talent. This is the best, easiest, and cheapest avenue to find qualified applicants.
And third, if businesses are good, always keep a +1 mindset with your staff. Lately, people are on the move after almost 3 years of hunkering down due to COVID. We tell all of our clients to always keep more employee resources, more people in their business to be able to fill a position the minute a person leaves.
So what's our second action, BJ?
Retention. Keeping all the best people. Retention begins the day of hire. You just hired a qualified, on paper, candidate for your open position. Set the position expectations with the employee that you can use as a bellwether for progress and growth. This is key so that you're on the same page as the employee is.
Yeah, use questions such as, what would be success for this position in your mind? We meet twice a year to review progress. Do you feel comfortable with that plan?
Right. You need to have that discussion, don't you?
Yes.
And then now the active retention is on you. You need to make it sure that you don't deviate off the agreed upon expectations. So often there is position creep, and that can be leading cause of employee turnover. Be present to the employee and look for any signs of issues early on.
Absolutely. And bonuses can go a long way, especially when they are unexpected yet tied to initiatives. But more importantly, know that money isn't the only reason people leave jobs. You need to be observant and sense concerns and nip them in the bud. It may not be the reason you think it is. I mean, most positions, I talk to a lot of clients about this. I call it SOS, same old stuff. And most positions have a half-life. People get bored, people get tired, they want to change. It's not you, it's not the money, it's not the business. They just want to move on. And you need to have those feelers out there when your employees are not happy.
Right.
And you have to anticipate that.
Exactly.
So action 3 is labor quality, growing the best people. Sometimes you can't find the right people in your position. This is happening a lot right now. It's getting tougher and tougher to find quality applicants due to the market, the economy, and changing technical atmosphere. There are fewer qualified applicants out there because there are fewer people able to work out there. The boomer generation is making a massive shift into retirement, and the following generations, the Gen X, Gen Ys, who have smaller populations than the boomers, are failing to catch up.
Yeah. And first, again, expect to pay more for the higher quality candidates. The average worker is moving up out of a food service or retail into a higher level positions. That's why we see a reduction in the force in the lower level employment. For instance, fast food, things like that.
Yeah, you walk into a McDonald's or a restaurant, you find, oh my God, they're having a hard time finding people because all those employees have now moved up and
Yeah.
they're looking for more higher level employment. So when you're encountering the labor quality of that lower level employment, second, you need to strengthen your interview process to ensure you're qualifying your candidates before you hire them and find out they have a fraction of the abilities they professed on their resume and interview. And this is one thing I'm finding with many of my clients. They're like, we call people in and they are not qualified at all. They say
Right.
they're qualified, but we interview them. So have a very tough interview process.
And look for the third thing, look in areas that you might not expect. Stop in, chat with professors at your local college, high school, trade school to see if you can have just a quick talk about your industry with the client, with the fellow students. This is a great way to hire right when they graduate. Hand out business cards to the students and tell them to, give me a ring after graduation. Let's make a connection. That that is a fantastic way.
Yeah, I have a client that does this. He actually teaches a class and he does
Oh,
it expressly to have first dibs on the fresh meat that are coming out of school. He's just like
smart.
handing out business cards. Come, give me a call. After summer, give me a call and we'll see if we could fit you in. And he gets,
Yeah,
instead of zero, he's getting 5, 10, 15 applicants that he can choose from.
right. And not for nothing, they're basically seeing him in action and they like what they see. And that's excellent. So reason action number 4, you tried everything, but the exit interviews are now here. And it is vital to, maintain the rest of the workforce. So use those exit interviews. If you've done everything you could to keep the person, but they still decide to leave, you need to make that exit painless, but ask the why. Ask why did they feel leaving was the right move. You're going to always be surprised. Am I right, Rich?
Yeah.
Always.
It's right when you thought it was friction with another employee or a lack of upward mobility, they will come from left field and mention something totally different.
Yeah.
They'll say, oh, I really didn't like that the office wasn't close to a lot of restaurants. And you're like,
Well,
okay. Yeah, but again, I think it goes back to the people. There's a half-life in every position.
yeah.
I tell people, unless you're super happy where you are, and if you want an upperly mobile career, like you're young, you want to move up, every 3 to 4 years, you should be moving. You
Yeah.
really should. I
Yeah,
look
because you
back
want
in
experience.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
look,
want
yeah, I look back in my career and I should have left after 3 to 4 years at all of my jobs. I stuck around for too long.
right, right. Oh my gosh. Some of the employers will give a suggested reason. Oh, are
Yeah.
you leaving because blah, blah, blah? Don't do this. This is your last chance to hear the why. I need you to listen. I need you to sit there and really listen for all those things you should have been listening to for about 9 months.
Yeah, and the big thing is that if you want the real truth out of them, this is what I tell my clients, because people usually shun exit interviews, is to say, look, I'm going to give you a good recommendation.
Yeah.
So if you say, Bet, you go, Rich, I don't like your hairline, okay? I'm not going to take it personally. I want you to tell me the reason why, because I need the truth out of you. And I'll give you a nice recommendation. I even tell clients sometimes to pay them for the exit interview. Say, look, I'll give you, we just I need to spend 15 minutes. I'll pay you $100 for the exit interview. It's worth the money. But
Yeah.
you want to make whatever changes to your HR department and the processes that it uses for exit interviews. You need to find out why they're leaving. So
Right.
our resource today is a great book called Fully Staffed, The Definitive Guide to Finding and Keeping Great Employees by Eric Chester, and I won't make fun of his name.
No.
Each chapter is going to help you replace desperation with a solid plan of action with your employment strategy and job advertising techniques. And it's just a great book.
Yeah, it has a lot of stuff that you just don't quite think about, and the one thing I really loved was when he talked about harnessing the value of untapped labor pools like veterans or retirees, ex-offenders, people with disabilities. It was just
Yep.
he was very on point. Great book, a lot of good nuggets in there. Well, that's it for this week. You can reach out to me at newrenew.com and you can find Rich at richg.com.
And thanks to our producer, Richard Scalzo.
Have an unbelievable week and catch you later.